Hi, everybody! The secret that could shatter everything. Eric's shocking discovery about Taylor's European marriage. The stage is set for one of the most explosive revelations in the bold and the beautiful history as Eric Forrester uncovers a devastating secret that threatens to destroy Ridge and Taylor's impending wedding. In a storyline that has viewers on the edge of their seats, the patriarch of the Forrester family finds himself in the impossible position of either protecting his son from heartbreak or watching him enter into what could be a legally invalid marriage. A wedding built on deception. The picturesque Forrester estate has been transformed into a cathedral of white roses and nervous anticipation as Ridge Forrester prepares to marry Dr. Taylor Hayes for what many believed would be their final, lasting union. The engagement, which came after Taylor's bold proposal to Ridge, seemed to represent a new chapter for the couple who have weathered countless storms together. Ridge accepted Taylor's proposal with open arms, declaring that Taylor makes everything better and the engagement ring should have been on her finger all along. However, beneath the surface of this romantic reunion lies a web of secrets that threatens to unravel everything. While Taylor has presented herself as a woman ready to commit fully to Ridge, her past in Europe harbors a truth so shocking that it could invalidate their entire relationship. Eric's growing suspicions. Eric Forrester, the family patriarch who has always been protective of his children's happiness, begins to notice something amiss about Taylor's behavior. Despite offering polite congratulations for the engagement, Eric cannot shake the feeling that Taylor is hiding something significant. His suspicions are not born from jealousy or favoritism toward Brooke Logan, but from genuine concern for his son's well-being. The catalyst for Eric's investigation comes in the form of a mysterious phone call from a mutual acquaintance in Europe. This contact claims to have seen Taylor recently in a very different context, wearing a wedding ring and going by another surname. Initially skeptical, Eric decides to quietly investigate these claims, and what he discovers leaves him stunned. The European marriage certificate. Through careful investigation, Eric uncovers documentation that tells a completely different story about Taylor's time abroad. While Taylor had claimed she spent time in Europe for personal healing and professional work, the evidence reveals that months before her return to Los Angeles, she had entered into a legal marriage with a French businessman named Alan Desmer. The marriage certificate, translated from French, shows that this union was never annulled and there is no record of a divorce. In legal terms, this means Taylor is still married to another man, making her engagement to Ridge built on a foundation of lies. The discovery includes not only the official documentation, but also recent photographs of Taylor and Alan together at a vineyard event in Provence. The moral dilemma. Armed with this devastating information, Eric faces an impossible choice. Though he is not proud of his investigative methods, he feels morally justified in his actions. Ridge deserves the truth, he murmurs to himself while pacing in the Forrester mansion, wrestling with how to handle this explosive revelation. The evidence is undeniable, and Eric knows that Ridge is about to enter into what could be considered bigamy, even if unknowingly. The patriarch understands that this secret, if revealed, will not only destroy Ridge and Taylor's relationship, but could have serious legal ramifications for everyone involved. The confrontation. When Ridge next visits his father, the atmosphere immediately shifts. Eric invites his son for a drink and hands him an envelope, his demeanor grave and troubled. "What's this?" Ridge asks, confused by his father's serious expression. Eric replies calmly but with evident pain in his voice, "Something you need to see before you walk down the aisle." Ridge opens the envelope and pulls out the translated marriage certificate, followed by the recent photograph of Taylor and Alan at the vineyard. For a moment that seems to stretch into eternity, Ridge says nothing, his eyes frozen on the image that threatens to shatter his world. The weight of betrayal settles over him as he processes what he is seeing. "Is this real?" Ridge finally asks, his voice low and trembling with a mixture of disbelief and rising anger. Eric nods slowly, sharing in his son's pain. "I didn't want to believe it either," he admits, watching as Ridge's world begins to tilt on its axis. The depth of betrayal. For Ridge, this revelation cuts deeper than any previous betrayal because it strikes at the very foundation of trust. The betrayal is not just about romance or competing affections. It is about fundamental honesty and legal complications that could affect his entire future. "She left me in the eye and promised we had no more secrets," Ridge mutters, his voice filled with hurt and anger. This discovery forces Ridge to question everything about his relationship with Taylor. Had she planned to tell him about Alan Dessmer? Was she waiting until after their wedding to reveal the truth? Or was she hoping to resolve the situation quietly without Ridge ever knowing about her European husband? The European connection. The storyline becomes even more complex when considering Taylor's recent health scare and her time in Europe. Taylor had returned to Los Angeles claiming she had received a grim prognosis from a European doctor regarding her heart condition. However, with the revelation of her secret marriage, every aspect of her European sojourn comes under scrutiny. Was the mysterious Alan Dessmer perhaps the doctor who diagnosed Taylor's condition? The spoilers suggest this possibility, adding another layer of complication to an already tangled web of deception. If Alan is indeed a medical professional who became romantically involved with his patient, the ethical implications become even more severe. The Italy factor. Adding to the complexity of this storyline is the upcoming Italy location shoot that will air in July. Ridge, Brooke, Eric, and Nick Marone are all set to travel to the stunning shores of Capri and Naples for what promises to be the most thrilling international storyline since the show's previous location shoots. The timing of this Italian adventure becomes crucial to the unfolding drama. Will Alan Dessmer follow Taylor to Italy to confront her about their unresolved marriage? Or will the revelation of Taylor's secret force Ridge to make desperate decisions about his future while surrounded by the romantic backdrop of the Italian coast? Executive producer Bradley Bell has hinted at shocking developments during the Italy storyline, suggesting that a life-changing event will make Ridge realize where his true feelings lie. Whether this involves a confrontation with Taylor's European husband or a different type of crisis remains to be seen. The family fallout. Eric's decision to expose Taylor's secret will undoubtedly have far-reaching consequences for the entire Forrester family. Steffy Forrester, who has been a strong supporter of her parents' reunion, will be devastated to learn about her mother's deception. Thomas Forrester, already dealing with his own complicated relationships, will find himself caught between loyalty to his mother and support for his father. The revelation also puts Eric in a difficult position within his own family. While he acted out of concern for Ridge's well-being, some family members may view his investigation as an invasion of privacy or manipulation. The patriarch's relationship with Taylor, which has always been complex, will likely be irreparably damaged. The legal implications. Beyond the emotional trauma, Taylor's secret marriage creates serious legal complications. If Ridge and Taylor were to proceed with their wedding while she remains legally married to Alan Dessmer, Ridge could face charges of unwitting bigamy. The Forrester family's reputation, already subjected to various scandals over the years, could suffer another significant blow. The legal ramifications extend beyond just the marriage ceremony. If Taylor has been living in the United States while legally married to a European citizen, there could be immigration and tax consequences to consider. The complexity of international marriage law means that resolving this situation will require careful legal navigation. Taylor's desperate explanations. When confronted with the evidence of her European marriage, Taylor will likely offer desperate explanations for her actions. She may claim that the marriage was a mistake, entered into during a vulnerable time when she believed her life was ending due to her heart condition. She might argue that she intended to resolve the situation quietly without involving Ridge in the legal complexities. However, these explanations will ring hollow to Ridge, who values honesty above all else in his relationships. The fact that Taylor looked him in the eye and promised no more secrets makes her deception particularly painful. Trust, once broken so fundamentally, becomes nearly impossible to rebuild. The choice between love and truth. Eric's revelation forces Ridge into an agonizing decision. Should he confront Taylor and demand a full explanation, potentially giving her a chance to make things right? Should he quietly end the engagement without public embarrassment? Or should he proceed with the wedding while secretly working to resolve the legal complications? The patriarch's advice to his son is clear. Whatever you do now, it has to be based on the truth. This guidance reflects Eric's own hard-learned lessons about the importance of honesty in relationships and the devastating consequences of building a life on lies. The Brooke factor. Inevitably, this revelation about Taylor's deception will impact Ridge's complicated relationship with Brooke Logan. While Brooke has been fighting to win Ridge back, she has faced the uphill battle of competing with his commitment to Taylor. The discovery of Taylor's secret marriage could provide the opening Brooke has been seeking. However, Brooke will need to be careful not to appear opportunistic in the wake of Ridge's heartbreak. If she pushes too hard or seems to gloat over Taylor's downfall, she risks alienating Ridge when he is most vulnerable. The key for Brooke will be offering genuine support and comfort without immediately pressing for romantic reconciliation. The Italy climax. The Italy storyline promises to bring all these tensions to a dramatic climax. With Ridge, Brooke, Eric, and potentially Taylor's European husband all converging on the romantic Italian coast, the stage is set for confrontations, revelations, and life-changing decisions. Will Ridge use the Italian setting to confront Taylor about her secret marriage? Will Alan Desmer arrive to claim his wife? Or will the beautiful backdrop of Capri and Naples provide the setting for Ridge to finally make peace with his complicated romantic history? A pattern of deception. This latest revelation fits into a larger pattern of secrets and deceptions that have plagued Ridge's relationships throughout the series. From forged letters to hidden affairs, the characters on The Bold and The Beautiful have repeatedly learned that building relationships on lies inevitably leads to heartbreak and destruction. Eric's decision to expose Taylor's secret, while painful, represents a commitment to truth over comfortable fiction. The patriarch has watched his son suffer through numerous romantic disasters built on deception, and he refuses to stand by while Ridge unknowingly enters another one. The future of Ridge. Whether Ridge and Taylor can survive this latest revelation remains to be seen. Their relationship has weathered many storms over the years, from competing affections to family tragedies. However, the fundamental nature of this deception, a secret marriage that could invalidate their entire future together, may prove to be insurmountable. For Taylor, this scandal could mark the end of her dreams of rebuilding her family with Ridge. Her decision to keep her European marriage secret, regardless of her motivations, has created a breach of trust that may be impossible to repair. The woman who once prided herself on being the stable, honest alternative to Brooke's dramatics now finds herself at the center of the biggest deception of all, Eric's burden. Having made the difficult decision to expose Taylor's secret, Eric must now live with the consequences of his actions. While he acted out of love and concern for his son, the destruction that follows will weigh heavily on the family patriarch. The bonds of trust within the Forrester family will be tested as everyone grapples with the fallout from this revelation. The storyline serves as a powerful reminder that in the world of The Bold and The Beautiful, secrets have a way of surfacing at the most dramatic moments possible. Eric's discovery of Taylor's European marriage promises to be one of the most explosive revelations in the show's history, setting the stage for heartbreak, redemption, and the eternal question of whether true love can survive the ultimate betrayal. As the wedding day approaches and Eric's knowledge weighs heavily on his conscience, viewers can expect a masterful exploration of family loyalty, romantic betrayal, and the painful necessity of choosing truth over comfortable lies. The Forrester patriarch's decision to urge Ridge to cancel the wedding may save his son from legal complications, but it will undoubtedly shatter hearts and reshape relationships in ways that will reverberate through the storyline for months to come.